Welcome, Tina. Thanks for being here. Welcome, everybody. No music today. Facebook doesn't like me to have music on, so I'm just sharing it to my Facebook group. So we have to just be silent at the moment because of music rights and all of that kind of stuff. So hang on just a moment. And so put in the chat if you a 1 if you were here yesterday, a 2 if this is your first day. Okay, welcome to everybody on Facebook group. We are starting in just a few minutes. Let's see. Thank you. Good to see you again, Donna. We'll just wait a few extra minutes, allow people to come on. Okay. If you're just coming on, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you were here yesterday, a 2 if today's your first day. And we're going to get started. If you're late, you're going to have to watch the replay. All right. I'm glad you guys were here yesterday. Okay. Did you do your homework? I hope you did. So more people are coming on now. So when you come on, put a 1 in the chat if you're here for the if you were here yesterday, put a 2 if today's your first day, so I know who we've got here. Awesome, you guys. Thanks for coming back. And I hope you got lots of value yesterday. We're going to do tons of mind-blowing stuff today again. So we're going to just move forward now. So becoming the best version of you, upgrading your inner programming and living your best life. I'm so excited to start this out with you. today and really take another deep dive into what all of this is about, how to become a better you, how to have more confidence, a better self-image, more self-esteem, because, you know, everything starts with you. If you don't feel good about you, then it reflects in everything that you do in all areas of your life. So ask yourself, is there a new you ready to emerge and take center stage in your life? Have you been playing like being a supporting player in your own life, not really stepping up, really not really speaking up, not really being yourself? Well, it's time. So do you have big dreams but don't have the confidence to go for it? Do you look for validation from others? Not only validation, but do you, you know, do you seek approval from others, I guess is the other word for that. Do you keep trying to improve your results, but nothing is changing? You just keep trying and trying and trying different methods, but nothing is changing. So in the masterclass yesterday, you've learned a couple of these specific shifts that you need to make in order to be the person you want to be. And we're going to be talking more about those today. So if you don't feel like you learned it yesterday, you'll probably really get it today as we put it all together. So the first one we talked about yesterday was how to change your inner programming to work for you versus against you and align yourself with the results you desire. So we talked about the fact that we're programmed from our early age, from 0 to 5, 6 years old. Pretty much everything that's in your environment is dumped to you, into you, and you just take it on as the truth. And then you begin to live your life based on those ideas, those beliefs, those values that you took on at an early age. And then, so get your inner programming to work for you versus against you, aligning yourself with the results that you desire. We talked about your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors, and making sure that they're in alignment so that when you go out into the world, that you're getting exactly what you want. And then we talked about how to remain in control and in charge of yourself no matter the outside circumstances, and how we are taught when we grow up to basically live by the outside circumstances, live from the outside in, use our senses, our taste, our seeing, our smell, use our senses to look at the outside world and then make decisions. We're not taught about how to use our mind and how to make a decision on our own from the inside out. And then what we're going to talk more about today is that success really starts with you. How you feel, how you see yourself really affects your results. How you feel about you, what image you hold of yourself really affects your results. So then today you're also going to understand that your self-image really sets the boundaries of all your individual accomplishment, both personally and professionally. Self-image is huge. And in this statement, it's the single biggest thing to improve in order to accelerate towards the success you desire. So you've got to do this. If you're always striving for a new goal and not shifting your self-image, that's what's holding you back. So you have to learn how to shift your self-image to become the person you want to become, and learn also that everything, what you think about is what you create in your life. So you had some homework. Put a 1 in the chat if you did your homework. And so your homework, if you didn't do it, was to think of 6 people that you admire, that have what you want, that have the money, they have the fashion, maybe they have the body, whatever it is that you want in your life. Think of the 6 people that you admire, their qualities and characteristics. Awesome, you guys did the homework, good for you. So writing causes thinking. So in the thinking of the 6 people and the writing it down, it caused you to use your mind in a different way than probably what you're normally used to doing. So thanks for doing the homework. And did you do this homework too? Making the list of 50 things you want? Put a 2 in the chat if you made your list of 50 things that you want when you be, do, and have your goal. Awesome. Thank you for doing that homework. If you didn't do that homework, You'll want to do it when you can, as soon as you can, and maybe when you watch the replay, you'll have the incentive to watch the homework. Oh, you didn't hear about the 50. Okay. Well, 50 is good because 50 really makes you think. So you can make it for 50 the next time around. Work with what you have this time. And we're going to get back to the homework in yes, we're going to get back to the homework in a little bit later time, where we're actually going to do a visualization. So hold on to your homework. Let me go to the next slide. So remember I said I forgot a slide yesterday, so I brought that back in because as we think in pictures, I felt like it was really important for you to have this picture. So we started off talking about how you were programmed early on in life. From 0 to 5 years old, you're basically, you don't have that conscious level of mind to discern, to accept or reject ideas. So everything that's around you, you just accept as real, as true. And this is the picture that describes that to you. When you're young as the stick figure, this is what you look like, what your mind looks like. So you have your subconscious mind, and remember, the subconscious mind only accepts ideas, doesn't have any ability to reject. Also in the subconscious mind, just to take note of, is that we have what's called imagined reality. And so anything you imagine and get emotionally involved with, is real to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't have any time or space in it, so whatever is happening, it only believes everything is now. So even though you might be focusing on something that happened in the past, it says it's now. So this is the beauty of the subconscious mind. We can imagine and get emotionally involved with what we want. It thinks it's real, but you have to do that in a repetitious way, because the only way to change that subconscious mind, those old habits and beliefs and patterns, is through lots and lots and lots and lots of repetition, really accountability, coaching, to keep you on track with what you want and not being controlled by your past thinking, your past paradigms. So this is what happens. So information comes into you, ideas, rules, values, and beliefs from the outside when you're little, and it becomes your paradigm. It becomes what you live off of. So hopefully that helped you to see that picture a little bit better about how, when we're little, we don't have that conscious level of mind where we can accept or reject ideas. And just having the subconscious level of mind. And then we talked about why we get the same results over and over and over again. You can see now, probably using the stick figure really helps you to get a really clear idea of what's happening in your mind. So if you're focusing on the results of today, your current results, that's what most people do, because that's what you know how to do. That's what you were taught to do. And your current results are actually based on your previous thinking, based on a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, yesterday. It's always based in the past, your current result. So when you focus on your current result, you pay attention to it, you think consciously about it, you have feelings about your current result, your body gets in a vibration of the current result, and you have the same result over and over and over again. This is what we call insanity. It doesn't get you out of the loop. So in order to get out of this loop, where our paradigms are in control of our thinking, you have to take charge of your thinking and not think on the current result, but think on what you want, where you're going, the goal that you're going towards, and really be in a growth mode rather than a stagnant mode. So I love that explanation. It just makes so much sense to me. So you really are becoming what you think about. And we talked about this yesterday. Most of us have heard that, but now you're really starting to understand what that means and how, I think the next, comes up in another couple slides, but how when you think and you get emotionally involved with what you're thinking about, your dreams, what you want in your life, your body gets in a vibration, you take action based on that vibration, what you're dreaming about, what you're feeling, you take action, you're in the behavior of that vibration, it goes out into the world, your actions cause a reaction, which we call the law of cause and effect, or some people call it the law of attraction. But the law of attraction really is the law of vibration. Is underlying the law of attraction is the law of vibration, because how you are vibrating, you're an energetic being. And I was thinking about this morning, in describing this, energy's always coming to you, and you can choose the negative or the positive. And in chiropractic, we talk about that too. It's like in chiropractic, we're always just moving you back into alignment so the body can heal itself. And the body has this infinite energy, and it gets it has energy within it, and it also gets energy from infinite intelligence, I guess you could say, or the universal intelligence. So we are energetic beings all the time, whether we're negative or positive. So we wanted to make it to choose and put ourselves in a positive vibration of what we want. So this is so simple, and we understand it at the intellectual level, and it's contrary to our paradigm, which lives in the subconscious level and how we've been taught to think. So we have a hard time accepting that this could be easy, that this is real, that this is how it happens. And the reason we have a hard time accepting it is because we have a paradigm that says it's hard. It doesn't work that way. It couldn't be that easy. So that's why we have to really shift that level of subconscious mind. Anything that you get emotionally involved with, you'll create. And this was also really big for me as I started learning this, because one time I walked up to a mentor of mine, when I was at that training in Hawaii with 16 other people, and Bob, I walked up to my mentor and I said, "Oh, I'm really emotional today." And he said to me, "You're emotional a lot." And I guess I had told him that many times before, but in that intense environment, it was like things were shifting and changing, and it felt emotional. But what I realized instantly was that whatever you are emotionally involved with, you create. So if you're emotionally involved in anger or frustration or sadness, you're creating more of that. If you're emotionally involved in confusion, you're going to create more of that. So a light bulb went on for me at that time, where it's like, oh, I have to get emotionally involved in what I want and how I want to feel. Hopefully you've had a little light bulb go on for that too. I'm just checking the chat. We saw this quote yesterday. Oh, thanks. You didn't need to share your people with me, but just to share them with yourself. We'll talk about those later. This quote just fits in this place, so I put it in here again. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. So just such a powerful quote, just such a powerful quote. And what we're talking really about today is how to increase your inner strength, how to increase your self-confidence, why it's so important. We hear this a lot right now. We've heard it for the last several years of living from the inside out. Getting strong from the inside out. And so we know that at an intellectual level of our being, and it's the same as think and create, or what you think about comes about. We kind of know it makes sense, because actually you always recognize the truth. When you hear truth, it has a certain vibration, it vibrates with you, and it's true. But so from living from the inside out, it's like a good idea. It sounds really great, but how the heck do you do it? So we're going to talk a little bit more about that and why it's important today. So you actually have an image, a self-image already. And when you deviate from your current self-image, it just pulls you right back, because it wants to stay the same. Your paradigm wants to stay the same. The self-image actually lives in the paradigm as well. It's part of your paradigm. So the job of the paradigm is to keep everything status quo, keep you the same, not allow you to change, just really keep you in that comfort zone. So as soon as you have a goal, you try to go to it, you're deviating from your self-image, just like a rubber band, it snaps you right back. And so ask yourself, how do I see myself? How do you see yourself? And do you see yourself as the image you see in the mirror? Or do you see yourself, if you were to just close your eyes, do you see yourself differently? So your self-image really is set in your early life, like we've been talking about, when your subconscious mind is open. And you start to mimic your parents, you start to mimic the people around you, all of that, you know that's happening. And unless you consciously change your self-image, it will stay the same for the rest of your life. It wants you to stay the same. So you'll never outperform the self-image that you have. So if you want something better, something bigger, something different, you have to shift your self-image. And this is the interesting fact, is that we actually have two images of ourselves. We do have this one image that you project to the world. Probably the image that you see in the mirror of yourself is what you project to the world. And then you have the picture that you do hold inside. And so you want those to be congruent, want those to be the same. And ultimately, the picture that you hold inside shows on the outside, and it really controls everything. So even though, have you ever felt that, like someone is projecting an image, I talked about my fashion career before. So like you go get a makeover, you get your clothes made up, you get a new outfit, you get makeup, for a photo shoot maybe, and that's like an image that you have of yourself. But ultimately, that the image you hold inside is not exactly the same as that new image you created for yourself. And sometimes you see people or know people that they look really good, but they're not acting like that person that they look like. So just notice if you see the differences between the outside image and the inside image. And really the inside image is what controls us, which really holds us back. So you can do all the wardrobe changes and makeup changes and photo shoots, but until you really change that inner image to be consistent and congruent with the outer image, you probably won't be able to hold that. So a negative or a bad image of yourself will then reflect in your results that you have in your life. And this is Maxwell Maltz's quote from his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, which he wrote back in 1960. Self-image sets the boundary of individual accomplishment. How many of you have read that? Put a one in the chat if you've read that book. Let me see if anybody. This book I actually had back in the 1980s, and I don't recall if I read it or not. But when it came back into my life, I was like, oh my gosh, that it's like a handbook for self-image. And so really, really good book. He said, self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishment. He was actually a plastic surgeon. And he was doing surgery on people, creating them a new nose or removing a scar. And he noticed that sometimes people would have the surgery and they would become a different person. They would start to act, think, and do things differently. But other people wouldn't change at all. And he started to ask himself, why is that? So he really started studying this and then wrote a book about it. Often we're not really aware of the image we have of ourselves, and this image influences every part of our lives. The way you talk, look, love, dream, and everything. If you have a negative image of yourself, your results are going to be negative. If you have a limited image of yourself, your results are going to be limited. It's just the way it works. And that's really part of the law of the universe. What you think about comes about, and also what the vibration you're in putting out, comes back. And you can change this image. That's the beautiful part. And you can change the image and then ultimately change your world. And this is probably, of all the work that I do, this is my favorite lesson that I teach people. because I think it's just so powerful. It's at kind of the core of everything. So self-image is really your glass ceiling, your personal glass ceiling. You have this control mechanism in your mind. You can think of that in that way. We're going to talk a little bit more of the control mechanism. Okay, is anybody still there? Wow, that was weird. Okay, let's start this over again. Thank you for still being there. My gosh, you guys, I just lost internet. So let me get my screen up. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I had to totally restart my computer. All kinds of challenges. Ugh. I don't know what's happening with Facebook. That's probably not going anymore either. Hold on, I gotta get the PowerPoint. Is it? All right, we're getting close. Thanks for your patience. Okay. All right, we're back. All right, wow. Okay, you're still with me. So Donna's read the book. I think that's why she posted yes. That's awesome. Okay, we had already gotten through this, so let me breeze through this. This is where we left off. So we're talking about the cybernetic mechanism. I still have some of you on, that's good. I'll probably redo this and get it all together, but anyway, we have this here. Oh, let me just see if I can get back on Facebook, one sec. I'm not sure if I left Facebook or what happened there. So we have the psychocybernetic mechanism and in our brain. Give me a moment here. And it's kind of like that, you know, your AC right now, if you're in Arizona, and it's probably getting hotter in other areas of the country too, or your heating mechanism. There's a cybernetic mechanism in that. Just go live in that. Okay. So we really want to understand this part. We're back live in Facebook. Sorry, we had a little internet issue. So think about this. Your subconscious mind really holds your cybernetic mechanism. You know, we kind of used to call it a set point in weight loss, I think, too. But just think about your mind. So you set your air conditioner for, I usually set mine for 76. And then it goes on and it goes off, and you open a door, it gets hotter inside. You open a window, it gets hotter, or it just gradually gets hotter from the outside. And then once it gets to a certain temperature off from the 76 that I set it, then it kicks back in to bring it back to that temperature. So remember what I was talking about, you have a self-image. When you deviate from the self-image, it automatically brings you back. So that's what's happening here. It's like a cybernetic mechanism. So your conscious thinking mind is the control knob of your unconscious machine. So your conscious thinking mind sets the temperature, but the subconscious mind is what, let me see if I'm explaining that right. You can set a new temperature for yourself, basically when you're going to your goal. So maybe you know want to set it at, I don't know, this is not going to make sense for this example, but you're going to set it at a different place, and then your unconscious mind, you have to get it so that it shifts to that new place that you're going to. So if you change the program, you will change the result. If you change the programming, the set point to another set point for yourself, then you're going to change your result when you're going to, but this just tells you that you're like this mechanism. You're going to go back to the same thing if you don't change that subconscious programming. Same thing is true about a plane. You know, has an automatic pilot. So the pilot really doesn't really fly the plane that much. It's on automatic pilot once they get up to a certain level, and the plane goes off course, and then the automatic pilot brings it back on course. It's going from LA to New York. It's set. The program is set for how the plane needs to get there, but maybe something happens and it deviates from the course, then the automatic pilot brings it back. The pilot really doesn't have to do anything. So this is how you are as well. So I hope that helps understand your internal mechanism a little bit better. So when you're changing the behavior, we saw this slide yesterday too, when you're just changing the behavior, the results you get are only temporary. When you're changing the thinking and you're changing the internal programming, then you're going to start to get permanent results. So you could think of that. I think my example is think about people on a diet or trying to lose weight. First off, you're programmed to find what you lose. we're programmed to find our keys, and we lose our keys, we look for our keys. Especially if we lose our phone, we are programmed to find our phone. You know, whatever we lose, we're programmed to find it. So when we lose weight, we're actually programmed to find it again. That's the first thing. But we also have a programming about with the cybernetic mechanism and the self-image. When you change the inner image to match your outer image, the results that are until you change those, you'll only have temporary results. Like with weight loss, most people lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. I'm like one of them. Lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. We have to work on the self-image and get it congruent to where we're going. Have to work on the self-talk, the self-criticism, the chatter that's going on, and change the chatter to the chatter you have when you're at the weight that you want to be. So it really explains so much about this whole weight loss game that we play, you know, and so if we're just changing the food that we eat, it's not going to be a permanent result. You're going to go back to the old patterns. So that's a way to think about self-image too. So you really need to make a decision. Everything starts with a decision to become the best version of you for especially this new world that we're entering into. And until you make a decision that you're going to make a change, nothing happens. And it's like you're just thinking about it. If you think back to the terror barrier we talked about and the second phase of that called reason, if you're just thinking about it and not committing, taking action, getting emotionally involved, moving on something, you're just getting the same result. So decision is really important. To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. That's from the book Paradigms by Joel Barker. Also a really, really good book. But the only way you do something differently in your life, change your future, is to be willing and able. And we know that we're able, so the willing becomes the biggest factor there. Am I really willing to do what it takes? Am I really willing to shift my mindset? Am I really willing to do the repetition it takes to have a new self-image? Am I really willing? And that's where, and willingness comes from a faculty of the mind. We have will as a faculty of our mind that we don't really know how to do, but using our will to discipline ourselves is the way that we can change some of these behaviors and do repetition when we don't want to do repetition, because usually we don't. Our paradigm will talk us out of it. So a lot of the things we have to do in order to change ourselves become kind of illogical from our current level of mind. They become illogical. It becomes illogical to say to yourself 50 times a day an affirmation, or to listen to affirmations over and over again every day. It's not logical, but it's how things change. You can never change things by fighting the existing reality. And if you think about the stick figure, if we focus on the current reality, we never change anything. In order to change something, we have to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. This is happening in the world a lot right now. The old model of how things used to run in the world is gone. We have to run in a different way. And it's been really exciting for me to see people being so creative about how to change business in order to have business work in this new model that we have to create. So you can take that as an example of how you need to change the model that you're using in order to have the success that you desire, in order to create what you want in your life. You have to do things differently. And it's not about the goal, but it is about the goal. I mean, you need to have a goal, but it's not about the goal. It's like it's about you becoming who you want to become along the way. And if you don't have a goal, you're not going to move. You're not going to take action. You're not going to go somewhere. And if your goal is too small, it's not going to cause you to grow enough, to grow big enough, to grow into the person that you want to be. So we talk about goals a lot in the coaching that I do, because we really want to get you on a goal pattern into a goal that is really worthy of you, and really something that you desire big enough that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. Because again, if you don't have a goal big enough, your paradigm will come up and talk you out of it. Oh, what was I thinking? That was a silly goal. I can't do that. Or, it's like the chatter in your mind is, if you've ever listened to it, is pretty consistent. So becoming bulletproof from the inside out is what we need to do. We talked about this at the beginning of this part of the masterclass. Really not letting the outside world affect us. Really learning how to be in control from the inside out, using our mental faculties, using our subconscious mind in a way that's going to work for us to create the reality that we do want. So that's some of the ways that we do that, and really understanding some of these principles. I love this. This is actually the title of a book. What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. It's a book by Terry Cole Whitaker. Has anybody read that book? Put a yes in the chat if you've read that. When I heard somebody just said this, what you think of me is none of my business, and that it was a book she had. I didn't buy the book for the longest time. Then I finally bought it and have read it. But when I first heard this statement, I said to myself, because I was starting to learn this material, I said, sorry, the clicker doesn't always work. In fact, if I focus on what other people think of me, I will never get to my goals or live my dreams. If you're constantly worried about what other people think, constantly worried about what people will say, then you're guarding yourself. You're not being yourself. You're not allowing yourself to express yourself and be the you that you're supposed to be. So this is in particular true with close friends, family, on Facebook. Facebook is, just if you're doing lives on Facebook for your business, there comes a point when you have to just not care what other people think of you in order to express what you need to express. I mean, even on this masterclass, I have to not care what you think about me, because I know who I am. I know that I have a mission to help people. I know that what I'm doing is good work, and I know that what I'm saying is the truth for me. And you may not like it, and that's okay, but so you have to get to this point where you have to realize that what other people think of you is none of your business, and to really keep your focus inside. So important. Let's see, did anybody read that book yet? This thing doesn't work. No, I don't think so. So that might be a good book for you to pick up. So we're going to do this exercise and with your 6 people that you admire. And actually, I'm just going to have you think, get your list out, look at the 6 people, or if you haven't done it yet, I think most of you did it. Write down you have their names, you have their qualities and characteristics. Think about how they dress. And what do you admire most about them? And I want you to just pick... I'm going to have you pick just your top 2 people out of the list for the sake of time. And you can go ahead and do this exercise on your own with the rest of the people. And I usually in my live classes, I will play music during this, and I was going to play music, but because I'm on Facebook Live, they've probably muted out or shut it down. So I'm just going to do this meditation without music. So with that in mind, we're going to do a little bit of a meditation. So I want you to get comfortable, put your feet on the floor, get in a place where you can close your eyes, and we're going to really get into this becoming the best version of you. And we're going to use those 2 people that you're going to pick out that you're going to focus on, but just close your eyes at the moment and take a deep breath and let it out. And then another deep breath. And let it out. Relax your shoulders, feel your feet on the floor, and just let go of your day so far. Let go of the fact that we had a little glitch with our internet connection and we were in and out, and just let that go. Everything's okay. You're in the spot you're sitting in right now. And just focus on my words. And if you do not see images when you close your eyes, that's okay. That's okay. You can just pretend that you see images and pretend that you can. Or just think about being able to see images. And just really get yourself in this relaxed state, feeling your body, accepting the place you're in, be in the now. And I want you to think of one of the people that you wrote down. And I want you to see them if you can, or imagine them if you can, and see what they're wearing, see what they're doing, see what they're, if they're talking, look at their mannerisms, just everything about them that you admire. And then I want you to slowly see them fading a little bit and putting yourself in that place where they are. And actually it's like you have a cloak, you have a coat, or if they had a coat on, you're putting on their coat, you're putting on their clothes, you're putting on this cloak that you actually become these qualities and characteristics. You become that which you admire in them, and you feel how they feel. And you ask yourself, how does it feel to be this person? What am I thinking as this person? What am I feeling? Am I excited? And just ask yourself, how does it feel to step into the shoes of this person? Because if you admire it in them, it is you. It's part of you. And it's just been hidden. You've had a little block on that part of you. And so you're letting go of that block and you're just stepping right in. And you're allowing yourself to recognize that that's part of you. And just how does that feel? And then thank that person for their qualities and characteristics that you admire. Thank yourself for recognizing those qualities and characteristics in you. And then say goodbye to that person. Let's see them fading away. And then I want you to pull up your second person that you're thinking about in front of you. And what are their qualities and characteristics that you admire? What are they wearing? What are they doing? How are they speaking? What mannerisms are they using? And begin to see yourself taking on their clothing as a cloak. You see them fading away. You see you moving into that position, and it's becoming you. It's really who you are. And you begin to feel the qualities and characteristics that they had. You can see yourself doing the movement and the action that they were doing. You can see yourself talking like they were talking. You can hear yourself talking like they were talking. You can feel the passion that they had. Because that's part of you. If you recognize it in someone else, it's part of you. You're just bringing it forth right now. You're allowing it to be. So I want you to thank that person for bringing you the awareness that you have that within you. And then see yourself one year from now. You've fully stepped into your new you. You've achieved your big goal. Excuse me. Ask yourself, how do I feel now that my goal is achieved? Sorry. How do you feel now that your goal is achieved? Identify the emotions. See the look on your face, the movements of your body. What are you wearing? Who are you with? What are you doing? Make it rich, make it wonderful, make it bold and beautiful. And come back into the room that you're in. Take a deep breath. Stretch. Deep breath. Slowly open your eyes. I apologize for my coughing. Didn't know that was there. The benefits of being on live. So what I want you to do is really today, go through your day today with this feeling. Pretend and act as if you are the new you, like you've become her. If you've reached your goals. You begin to think, act, talk, and conduct yourself in all your affairs as would the person you wish to become. You act as if your future self. And this is actually the way it happens. You actually have to kind of use your acting skills to start acting, thinking, talking, being the person you wish to become. Now, what I'm going to have you do, I'm giving you an assignment to just take with you for 90 days if you choose, or how many days you choose to do it, 30, 60, 90. It's recommended to do it for 90. So you're going to take these qualities and characteristics and pick the top one of the 6 people. A word or a very short phrase. And we're going to create an I am affirmation. So you could say, I am strong, I'm powerful, I'm an effective speaker, whatever you want. 6 I am affirmations. And excuse me, then you're going to do some mirror work with that. So what you're going to do is stand in front of the mirror I recommend you write your affirmations on a card and you just keep it on your mirror. And you also set a timer on your phones, because you're going to do this in the morning and at night for 30, 60, or 90 days, whatever you choose. And then have your affirmations on the mirror. You're going to cover one eye, because we only really look, when we look at ourselves, we only see in through one eye, or see, yeah. We only use one eye at a time. So you're going to cover one eye, and you're going to, well, that's what I do. If you can look in one eye at a time, you don't have to cover it, but I cover it. It just makes it easier. And then say your affirmations, your 6 affirmations, 6 times each in each eye. So I usually count on my fingers, 5 and then an extra one, to do when I'm going through the affirmations. It actually doesn't take that long once you get used to it. So you're saying, like, I'm powerful, I'm magnetic, I'm a great speaker, I'm fun, I'm happy, I'm a great listener. And then you repeat that 6 times in that eye. And then you go to the other eye 6 times. 6 affirmations 6 times in each eye, morning and night, 30, 60, or 90 days. See how that, and do it with feeling, as if you are those qualities and characteristics. And then report back to me and let me know the changes that you feel within yourself. If you've never done mirror work before, you know that sometimes mirror work can get kind of intense. I mean, you might have, because you're looking at yourself, and we don't look at ourselves that often, really look at ourselves deeply. So if you start tearing up, if you start crying, it's okay. Just keep doing it. Go through it. It's happened to me before. Usually, once you've done it a few times, you move more into that it's exciting, and you're moving into those qualities. At first, when you're saying those qualities and you don't really believe it yet, then it can get a little bit emotional sometimes. So just to prepare you for that. Now, this is something that I do with my clients. You can attempt to do this on your own as well. We do what's called a self-image script, and it really helps you to ensure your success. You really just write out the script of who you're becoming, who you want to be, in all different areas, in relationship, in finances. So what does, if you could think of it as a movie script, write your life out as a movie. And when you get that written out, then I would suggest recording it on a phone recorder of some kind, a phone app. There's one called Voice Loop that I use, that I really like. I have probably 50 recordings on there, and it just loops over and over and over again. So you can listen to your life script, your personal life script, like over and over and over again for 10 minutes, and put yourself in it emotionally and feel it. This is what in the book Think and Grow Rich, in the self-confidence formula, he says, give yourself auto-suggestion for 10 minutes a day. This is what he means by that. You're auto-suggesting, you're suggesting to yourself what you want, so that you're imprinting it on your subconscious mind so you believe it. You guys, so I have a friend that says this: I wrote her and then I became her. So I love that quote. So this is really how it happens, you guys. First, you are and do what that person you want to become does. First, you become her, actually, and do what she does, and then you're going to get what she gets, or what she will have in her life. So it's really important to start putting yourself in this place. So there's no other way that it happens. This is how it happens. We change the subconscious through our thought and behavior. If you never act like the new person, then your goal will just stay a fantasy. So you have to begin acting as if. Now, let me just check my next slide. So with your list of 50 things that you're doing, being, and having when you get to your goal, what I want you to do is think of that now as your shopping list, as your manifestation list. And you're going to take a yellow highlighter and highlight the things on your list of 50 that you can do right now. And maybe if you can't do exactly how you wrote it, maybe you could do it in a modified way. Say you want to have somebody cleaning your house once a week when you get to your goal. Maybe you can start having somebody clean your house once a month. So see how you can be, do, and have what you want when you get your goal right now. Highlight those things you can do right now and start doing them right now. And that's how you will begin to act like the person that you are becoming. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions about that. So that's what you do with your list of 50. Now, we have to begin really thinking into the results that we want. And ironically, this is actually the name of the program I coach people through. It's called Thinking into Results. But we haven't been taught how to think. You know, we never were taught how to think, how to really use our mind. But when you do, you're going to start really getting clear on your purpose, your vision, and goals. And I think that was actually when we did the poll yesterday, that purpose was one of the highest ones that you guys wanted to find out about. What's my purpose? So when you start this process, you're going to get really clear on your goal and your vision, your purpose, and eliminate indecision. Indecision is like the worst thing. It basically causes procrastination. You're going to become much more confident very quickly. Remove the barriers of fear, doubt, and worry. We talked a lot about those yesterday. Remember, doubt and worry, conscious mind, fear in the subconscious mind, that block you from getting what you want. If you're hanging out in fear, doubt, and worry, you're not going to be in a positive vibration. And a positive vibration is where creation happens. You're going to form positive habits that really stick permanently. None of this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth stuff. So this is a quote that I love too. I first heard Bob Proctor say this quote, and it's really a quote by Bill Gove, one of his mentors. And he said, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me that you think I should be. Not the me my wife thinks I should be. Not the me my kids think I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. So I better know who me is. I better find out who I am. And that's really what we're doing here. We're beginning to understand who we are at our core level of being and how we function and how we can be in control from the inside out. And I also love this quote because it's back to what you think of me is none of my business. You know, if I allow you, my family, my friends to I don't know, you know, if I allow what they think of me to be more important than what I think of me, I will never get to my goals. So if I want to be free, I've got to be me. So let me know if you have any questions coming up for you. In this masterclass, this is what we've talked about, just to review, how to change your inner programming to work for you versus against you, and align yourself with the results you desire, how to remain in control and in charge of yourself no matter the outside circumstances, and the success really starts with you and how you feel and see yourself, and the effect yourself affects your results dramatically. Your self-image affects your results dramatically. And we talked about self-image, setting the boundaries of all your results, personally and professionally. That is the biggest idea, to shift yourself to the success you desire, and you become what you think about. Whether it's negative or positive, you become it. So you have the ability, you have to choose. And so my question to you is, are you really ready to become the best version of yourself? The best version of you. And thinking again back to yesterday when I said the best version of you is not necessarily an earlier version of you, a younger version of you. It's your full potential. Because most likely you haven't tapped into your full potential of us. None of us have. That's why we're here. I think that's why we're here on the planet, really, is to tap into our full potential. And we keep getting opportunities and opportunities and opportunities, but we don't take them because we don't understand. So I really believe it's time for you to become the star of your own life, to take center stage in your own life and really do what you're meant to do here, because you have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. You don't know what it is maybe now yet, but you're going to get more and more clear on it. So we talked a little bit about decision. I talked about a committed decision and how important it is. And I love this quote by Kenneth Blanchard about committed decision. He says, there's a difference between being interested and being committed. When we're interested, we do what's convenient. Now look at this guy. You think he had to make a commitment. He had to leave the safety of the rock in order to do the dive, in order to get the results he wanted. And so when we're committed, we do whatever it takes. We accept only results, not excuses. We accept only the results that we want. And the excuses really come from our paradigm. That's such a great quote. So I have a question for you. I have another poll for you to take. How committed are you to making a change so that you feel better about you and can have the life you want? So let me launch this poll. I love the polls. This one's not as long, but the questions are, I'm 100% ready. Yes, I'm ready. I want to make a change. I'm 50% ready. I'm not sure. I need more information. I'm 25%. I'm scared. I don't think I want to change yet. Or 0%. No, I don't want to change. I'm happy where I'm at. So where are you in this? Well, it looks like everybody that's voted so far is 100%. That's awesome. So what's it going to take for you to make the change? Everybody's 100%. Good for you guys. That's fabulous. I love learning that. So here's the deal. You have a choice. You always have a choice. I really apologize. I don't know what's happening with maybe it's because I did neti pot before this thing today and I was trying to help myself, but I didn't, evidently. Anyway, I apologize. You have a choice. You're on the edge. You have to ask yourself, do you want the same thing, same old thing? Somebody's chatting. I'm a doer. Yeah. Or something new. Do you want something new? If you want something new, you have to, remember what we learned? You have to do something different. You have to step off that ledge. You have to make a decision and go for it. I can't even tell you how many times, like I think I said yesterday, I firewalk 10 times. When you're firewalking, it's probably like jumping out of a plane. I haven't done that, but you're standing in front of those coals thinking, this is like the worst idea I think I ever had. How many of you have firewalked? Put a name, put a 1 in there. If you have, you know, you're standing there petrified. Actually, at that point, you're not really that, because you kind of work up to the fact that you're going to do it, but you have to go with all the confidence. And really what they have you do in a firewalk is imagine yourself already at your goal. Imagine yourself already there. Let's see. That's exactly what we're doing. But you're never going to get across the hot coals unless you go, you know? And you're definitely not going to stop in the middle of the hot coals. Definitely not going to stop. Once you go, and you go towards your goal. So it's a very powerful thing to do. So I want to offer you guys a call. Some of you guys have actually already signed up for a call, which is great. I'm gonna offer you guys a free call to just see where you're at now. What do you want? What's holding you back? And maybe get some success strategies for you to implement immediately. See what's going to work best for you to help you get through the blocks that you're currently having. So I just want to help you get where you want to go, and that's what I do with my coaching. I'll tell you about my coaching for sure. If it's a fit for you, it's okay. If it's not a fit, that's okay. Or I might even be able to tell you some other programs that I recommend as well. So we really don't know until we talk. So get on a call with me. Let me just answer the question or the chat, and then I'm going to give you I think there's a link probably in your email you're going to get, but this is the link to apply. It's just my website, drshelleynash.com/apply. It'll take you right to a couple questions to answer, and then to make an appointment on my schedule. I do have some times tomorrow left, so you can fit into my schedule tomorrow, or if that doesn't work for you, you can get in on Monday or next week. But I look forward to talking to you. Does anybody else have any further questions for me before we end the call today? And I'm not sure how the replay is going to work on this. I probably am going to have to let my people know that I will have to re-record the second day, so that and so you should listen to the second day again, because it might turn out completely differently and it'll be all new to you. So I'll probably have to redo it again because of the internet loss of internet in the middle. But anybody else, I've so enjoyed having you guys on the call. I think all of you guys were on the call both days, which is excellent. That means that what you're hearing, you're resonating with, and that's all. My mentor said to me once, you resonate. If it's the truth, you resonate with it. And I really always attempt to speak my truth anyway, and the truth for me. And if you resonate with that, then I would love to talk to you on a call and get down to what's going on with you specifically. And that would be awesome. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to get off. I'll give you a call, Judith. And so that's it. Thank you for being on the call. I hope you got tons of value out of the call. And if there's not anything else, we'll just sign off for today. Let me just read what Janine says. Which part? Yeah. Yeah, I'm currently diving into my subconscious mind, and as terrifying as it is to revisit childhood trauma that I have ran from my whole life, I truly believe that my issues as an adult stem from, well, this is good, because I want to talk to this. In a short period of time, I barely recognize myself due to the growth. Now it's time to fine-tune the best version of myself. Thank you again for sharing. The message resonated a lot with it. So this is really interesting that she points this out, because, I used to think that I needed to really get back into my childhood and really figure out what all my paradigms were and where they came from and all this crap, and basically that's what I did in therapy for 15 years. When you go to therapy, you talk about the past. And so if you're focusing on the past, you're recreating the past. And was therapy helpful? Yes, it was helpful to a certain extent. But what I really learned, and I really held on to that idea that we needed to know our paradigms, and we need, when I started studying with Bob, and I realized that, gosh, he never talks about what they are, or, he never focuses on the paradigm. It's like, if you focus on the paradigm, you're just going to recreate the paradigm again. Stop doing that. Focus on the paradigm that you do want. And then what happens is you create more and more distance from the past. Now, do I like to know my paradigm? I do like to know, because what I use that for is I say, oh, that's that old thing of who do I think I am? Or that's that old thing of worrying about what other people think. Or that's that old thing of thinking I'm not enough or I'm not deserving. There's only about 8 essential paradigms, you know, that hold us back. And so the more you focus on it, the more you dive into it, you know, you're looking at those old emotions and that old stuff, and it's just recreating it. So I just invite you, Jeannie, I think you're ready to move on from what it says that you've said here. And I thank you for sharing, because it's really an important point. It's like, I think it's important to sometimes acknowledge, you know, acknowledge emotions, acknowledge we're feeling something that happened, that probably happened in our childhood, but really to get off it quickly and focus on what we want. Otherwise, we're going to keep spinning around in our past and keep having to figure out our past. When the past is over, we can't do anything about it. Sorry, I'm on a little rant because I just lived that so many years. I spent so much time in therapy looking at my past, trying to figure out what the problem was. And I think I said this quote yesterday. Bob Proctor says, "You're the only problem you'll ever have, and you're the only solution." And he even said to me one time, I was talking about my father, and he says, "Let it go. Forgive him and let it go. Focus on what you want." And, you know, so for what that's worth, I know probably what you did was very insightful and everything like that, but the focus of my work is really changing the paradigm to get you what you want. And I really am believing more and more that we don't really have to focus on it. Focus on all of the paradigms and all the issues and all the things that we had when we were little that happened to us, and who did this to us and that to us, and what did we create from that, and what did, you know, it's just, I did have, I can share with you just a little personal note. I had something come up the other day when, you know, we have the 6 feet rule right now. And I was thinking, I haven't been using my voice to say, you know, please stay 6 feet away. I'm honoring the 6 feet rule. You know, I haven't been using my voice. I've been just backing up. And it's a great example because I was talking to a friend about it, and I realized that it probably is something like not using my voice comes from a paradigm in my childhood, you know, and also setting a boundary. This was with men, you know, but setting a boundary with men, it was for me in this particular 2 situations where I was trying to create 6 feet and they kept coming forward, and I just kept backing up. and I felt uncomfortable saying stop. I'm on, you know, I'm doing the 6 feet rule, you know, so I realized that probably came from a childhood thing, you know, around, you know, my stuff with men or whatever, you know, but it's better to just say, what am I going to do about it now? You know, how am I going to be now? You know, an affirmation is like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I know how to use my voice. I speak up. I'm so happy and grateful now. That's what we at Bob Proctor recommends you begin every affirmation with is, I'm so happy and grateful now that I can set my boundaries. I know who I am. I know what I want. I deserve to have boundaries. So I hope that's helpful for you guys, because yes, probably why I had that feeling about that situation came from my past, but I don't need to go back and figure out like, well, what was that situation about when I was younger? I just recognized it, and then I moved on to what do I want? What do I know that I have right now? So put a 1 in the chat if that helped you guys with that. So I'm not just talking here, but thanks for your share. I don't know if you're still on, Jeannie, but thank you so much for that share, because it really helped. Oh yeah, you are on. Thanks. It really helped me, and it just it was what I went through, because I went through so much therapy. I went through so much examining of my past, and at just some point, it just like, I mean, it's kind of a relief to know that I don't need to do that anymore. And in fact, if I keep doing that, I'm probably going to stay stuck. So I honor and value the fact that you did, you know, take a deep dive into that. I would suggest that maybe you want to take more of a deep dive into getting into the scariness of going for your big goal, you know, and what that's about. Because you probably, you know, you'll be recognizing paradigms for sure as you go into where your goal is. You'll recognize them and you'll shift them. Recognize it, shift it. Recognize it, shift it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a powerful woman and I get to create anything that I want in my life. So thank you so much for sharing that though with us. Awesome. Well, I think we're over time, way over time. I get chatty and just keep going. So have a fabulous day. Look for the replay. I'm not sure how the replay is going to work out, but look for the replay. I'm so happy to be on here. I'm glad that you stayed so that we could come back together after the little internet glitch. And thank you so much for your patience with my coughing and all of that. I don't know why that's happening, but I hope you have a fabulous weekend coming up. I hope to talk to you very soon and just really help you in whatever way I can to move on to your next level. So thank you so much. Join the Facebook group, The Winner's Circle, and we'll be talking to you again soon. So let me stop my share. Awesome. Thank you. All right, we'll be talking to you guys soon. I have appointments with some of you already, so I look forward to sharing with you again soon. Bye.